Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the class. Okay, today we're going to look at what you've been reading. I know you all have books that you've been reading at home, and maybe you even have a book you've finished. But if you haven't finished a book yet, it doesn't matter, because you can tell us about it so far. What we're going to look at is a couple of ways of talking about books in front of the rest of the class. And what I want you to do is to think about it and prepare, and then you're going to talk for about 15 to 30 seconds, so a very short time, to the rest of the class. Okay? When we start, I'm going to let you be seated, but as you get more confident, maybe not in this lesson, but in a future lesson, I'd like you to come to the front of the class and present. Why do you think that is important, my dear Christina? Why is it important that we learn to present?
Because in this way we become more confident in ourselves, and also we try to interact with other people.
Excellent.
So it
Right. That's very good. Do you think it will only help your English, or do you think it helps other things too?
Other things too, because if I can learn something by reading on my own, I also can learn something else speaking with other people.
With other people, because the point is here, everything you learn in this class through extensive reading are what are known as transferable skills. The fact that you're reading in English, speaking in English, interacting in English, organizing your ideas in English, this is something that you can translate back into your Italian studies. When I've done this project before with other students, for example, I once did it in the Middle East, in Jordan. It was very interesting. The students who did a lot of reading and then went up a year, their Arabic teacher, their history teacher, their Islamic studies teacher, all said, "What's happened to these kids? They're so good with language. They're so good at standing up and presenting to the class. What happened to them? What happened to them was extensive reading. They had the experience of reading, and it gave them many different opportunities to use language in different ways." Okay, so what I'm going to do now is you're going to have about 30 seconds to put your ideas in order and be prepared to talk about your book for a few seconds. I really, you don't have to talk more than 15 to 20 seconds, just a short time. What do we need to think about? What do you have to tell us? What do you think people want to know about your book?
The plot and
The plot, but before that?
the genre of the book.
The genre of the book. Excellent, that's very important. What else?
Well,
Can I borrow your book, please? I start talking about a book. What does everyone need to know?
the title,
The title and
the author.
and the author. Very important. The genre. Excellent. Right. Those are three key pieces of information. Are you going to tell the end of the story?
No.
No. Why don't you tell the end of the story?
Okay, I should make the listener interested in my book
In your book.
and read it.
And read it. And read it, because how many words do we have to read in a year?
1 minute.
1 million. Don't forget that number. So, how many words have you read so far?
3,000.
Very good. That's for the beginning of the year. That's excellent. Very, very good. And you're using the word counter that's online, aren't you? Well done. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. 30 seconds to think about. Well, I'm not going to tell you again. We discussed it. You're going to remember. Does everyone understand? Thumbs up. Great. Thank you. Off you go. 30 seconds. Do you think you need to write full sentences to prepare, or is it enough to have keywords?
Keywords.
Keywords, good, because you only have 30 seconds, remember. Time is up. It's not very long, is it? It's not very long.
No.
Anyway, it doesn't matter because why do you think I give you such a short amount of time to do the task? Why do you think that, Sarah?
A short time because we have just read the book, so to organize it.
Just to organize your thoughts. What would happen if I gave you a longer piece of time? What would happen if I gave you 20 minutes, say? What would happen?
We could lose the point. Of the
You'd lose the point. You'd be very tempted to write it all down. And what I want you to develop is not your writing skills today. I want your speaking skills. Well done. Okay. Does one of you want to volunteer, or do you want me to ask one of you? Who would like? How about you, Lorenzo? You want to try? Okay. You can do it sitting down for this first time. Okay. Will you tell us about your book, please?
I've read.
Excuse me. One moment. I'm going to take my chair because I want to sit down.
Okay.
I'm too tired to stand up, so I want to be part of the group. Here I am. I'm going to be part of the group. Because why do you think it's important that I be sitting down with you? Like this. We're at this, brilliant. It's psychologically, we're all at the same level. And what we're trying to do with this reading project is that we are all participating together. In the same way that yesterday, when we were doing silent reading, and I was sitting and silent reading with you, I am part of the group. I am reading the books too. I'm really interested in them. Even though my English is obviously better than yours, and I can read quite difficult books, I'm really enjoying The Elephant Man. I think it's a fantastic book, even though it's only level 1. Okay, Lorenzo, I've talked enough.
I've read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Will you show us the cover?
This is the cover.
Gosh, show it to your...
In fact, it's a thriller book. It's written by Robert Louis Stevenson, and it is about story of appearance and mystery.
Ooh.
It is the protagonist is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They are the opposite.
The protagonist?
The protagonists.
But is it only one protagonist and he's two people?
This is the particularity of this book.
How interesting.
In fact, they are two opposite characters
Fantastic.
that mix in this book. It is about drag, mystery, and appearance.
Can I ask you a question? I think that was very good. He did his 15 minutes very well. Did you like this book?
Yeah.
Or are you liking it if you're still reading it?
I like this book.
You like this book, okay?
Well,
and you would recommend it because?
Because it is perfect for thriller lovers.
For thriller, okay, raise hands. How many people love thrillers in this classroom? I love thrillers. You don't?
No.
What's your favorite genre?
Love stories.
Love stories. Okay, will you tell us about your book then?
My book is Pride and Prejudice of Jane Austen.
Absolutely. Will you show us the
Photo
cover?
of the film.
Yes, with Keira Knightley.
Yes.
Did you like that film?
Yes.
You did. Right.
This is a famous novel, and it talks about the difficult love story of Elizabeth and Darcy,
Yes.
Mr. Darcy, that is one of the most important noblemen in the society, in the English society, and
do they get married in the end?
Yes.
She told us the end! Actually, as most of us know the story, we know they get married in the end. And so what is nice is to see how they get there.
Yes.
Basically also because romance always tends to have a happy ending, and so we usually know what happens in a romantic story. What happens? In all romantic stories, what happens? They live happily ever after, is the idea. They certainly get married. Anybody who knows anything about marriage knows that happily ever after isn't necessarily the case. Okay. Do you want to share your book?
Yes. The author is Edgar Allan Poe, and the book is Tales of Mystery and Imagination.
Will you show us the cover, please? Great. Okay.
This is a book composed by 5 stories, and what I like most was the Black Cat.
Right.
In my opinion, it is too much dark.
Right.
The main character is the mystery, and also is a lot anxious.
Anxious, maybe. Yes, there's a lot of anxiety in the story. Yes.
Very mysterious, because you don't understand what is happening when you read.
I think you're right. I think Edgar Allan Poe is a particularly good thriller, sort of horror type writer, because he's very good at not showing things quite clearly, and so you're never quite sure where you stand with him. And I remember when I was a girl reading the first time Poe, I remember you used a very good word, angoscia in Italian, that anxiety that you really feel right here, what's going to happen, and I'm not quite sure. Excellent. Do you want to share your book?
Yes, my book is called The 39 Steps.
I love it.
It is written by
John Bucket.
And it is a thriller story or an adventure story. It's the story of this man who is involved in a world conspiracy because he helped a man who is trying to stop some people to cause a world war.
Very good. And tell me what your favourite moment was in the story, or where you've reached to so far.
Maybe the moment when he's in a country place.
Yes, when he's running away.
And all the people are trying to find him, and because they want to stop what he's doing, and so it's as Sarah said for his book, it's very anxious.
It makes you quite anxious to know what will happen in the end. Excellent. Would everybody recommend the book they're reading to other people in the class?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. I'm very, very pleased with how you've done. Thank you so much, and we will do this regularly and give other people turns to share their reading with us too. And when more of us have read the same books, we can then start talking about sort of discussing the books as a class. So once we start having some books that we've shared. Okay? Thank you very, very much, and I will see you next week.
Perfect.
Bye-bye.